Good morning and welcome to day 2 of our 21 days of devotion and prayer as we lead up to Easter. Today, the devotion is out of Isaiah chapter 53. The great preacher of the 1800s, Charles Spurgeon, once said this about the cross. There is one great event which every day attracts more admiration than do the sun and moon and stars when they march in their courses. That event is the death of our Lord Jesus Christ. To it the eyes of all the saints who lived before the Christian era were always directed, and backwards through the thousands of years of history, the eyes of all modern saints are looking. Spurgeon is right. That single moment of history fulfilled every promise of redemption made for 2,000 years. The prophets of old, although they did not always know all the specifics, looked forward to an everlasting king and an everlasting kingdom. This was the promise that they held onto through trials, tribulation, and exiles. They saw it as the extension of the promise of Abraham. While Isaiah prophesies an everlasting king and kingdom, he also introduces us to the idea of God's suffering servant. Writing some 700 years before Christ's birth, Isaiah predicts with radical accuracy that the servant of God must suffer for our sake. I've always been perplexed by one phrase in Isaiah 53, and it is this: "Yet it was the will of the Lord to crush him. He has put him to grief." Why is God's desire to crush this servant? Well, it has to do with God's original promise to Abraham to truly be a blessing to the nations. Then redemption to all mankind must be offered. God's will was to put all the sin and guilt on Jesus for the sake of the entire world. It was his plan from the beginning. The Son of God, ridiculed, mocked, beaten, and crushed for us, was promised in the very words of Isaiah and serve as a source of healing and hope for us today. God fulfills his promise to Adam and Eve, Abraham, David, and to us in one single act on the cross. I want to leave you with a reflection question for today. When you go back and you read Isaiah chapter 53, what stands out to you and why? Have a blessed day, and we will see you tomorrow.